This is Premier Sports Fan Center. My name remains Egbenwe. Don't forget to subscribe. Alpha. It's okay. This is a strong Man U fan. Versus Zurich. A win for both, automatic qualify. A draw, also qualify. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center. My name remains Egbenwe. Please don't forget to subscribe. The activities of soccer, and we cover all the international matches, including all the top league matches. Today it is the Champions League, the best moment of every football lover, the Champions League, and it is the second leg of the match between Inter Milan versus AC Milan. They are in the San Siro. Well, with me in the studio to do justice to today's match, we are not only covering the Champions League, we are also covering the English Championship playoff between Luton and Sunderland. It's going to be an exciting day of talking football here in the Premier Sport Fan Center. Don't forget to subscribe. With me in the studio to do justice to all the matches is our important analyst, Shagalu. The Shagalu himself. You are welcome.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
And I'm afraid to call the name because you always say disclaimer. All right, it's Adeyemi Elias the Octopus today.
Another disclaimer. Thanks for having me.
All right. Mr. Shegun, well, welcome to the show. The match is on, and it is in the 19th minute into the first half, and we have seen the exciting moment of the football. We've seen goals attempt. AC Milan are back, and today I discovered that Leo is back. But before then, what were your thoughts prior to this match?
Well, both teams actually they are from the same league and they are familiar foes. So it's just like having your regular Italian Serie A derby in the UEFA Champions League. We saw the first leg when Inter defeated AC Milan. AC Milan were supposed to be at home at that first leg, but fortunately both of them share the same stadium. They play on the same pitch. That's the San Siro. We saw the first leg how Inter Milan took advantage of early goals. They scored those 2 goals very early into the match in the first half, and they rode on that to this throughout the game. And here we are in the second leg with Inter Milan at home. But I think AC Milan should be familiar with this pitch because this is where they've been playing. So there's nothing like home advantage or away advantage here. When you look at the team, AC Milan has the experience. The first leg they missed the good works of what's it called, Rafael Leao, and today he's back in the squad. Let us see how much Giroud and Leao can actually work. But it should promise, or I'm trying to see an interesting game, though it doesn't light up as much as I expected. But as game unfolds, I expect it to light up.
All right, Mr. David.
Yeah, friendly friends and friendly enemies, they know each other. AC Milan, Inter Milan. You know, it's just like playing your neighbor. So there's no home, there's no way as far as I'm concerned. First leg, advantage Inter Milan, but 2-0, we've seen 3-0 overturned, we've seen 4-0 overturned. So it's very possible for 2-0 to be overturned. And they have their fireman, their main talisman back, Rafael Leao, the Portuguese international. So we are in for a long day of football. And let's see if AC Milan can be the AC Milan we used to know when the owner of Monza was still the man in charge. And where they still have Paolo Maldini and the like Shevchenko, Kaka, and all of them. Let's see if they can actually show us that, okay, AC Milan still have stuffs of Champions League in them. Because actually they are the second most successful club in Europe. Yeah. So you can't really underrate them. It can be a miraculous night for them, and they come back into the game. So football will speak.
All right, football we speak. Let us quickly look at the tactical formation of the two teams. The two teams, you see Inter Milan playing 3-5-2. 3-5-2. 3-5-2. Inter Milan playing 3-5-2. What are they trying to achieve?
That is the typical Italian formation. That's how I'll see it, so I'll take it to be. And they are not in a rush in this game. They are currently playing at an advantage of 2-0, so they are not in a rush. All they were trying to just achieve is just try and choke that midfield, cut how much passes that are coming through the midfield to the wing, or cut how much services Giroud can get up front. If Giroud is isolated up front and Rafael Leao is not getting those much threats as much as we know he can do, if they are cutting those off him, then I think AC Milan can contain the team. That's what they're trying to do. Just try and contain AC Milan in the midfield. But then they know that if they should contain them in the midfield, then probably the game is going to go as much as they planned it to be.
Mr. Dem, do you see any form of defensive tactics in this approach? With 5 men, and probably some of the men have to fall back for defense.
Last week, this is the exact formation Inter used.
Okay.
It's the 3-5-2. They've been using it for a long time this season. Even since last season, they've been using it. It's like the kind of play whereby you have enough bodies in the midfield. And football mostly are won and lost in the midfield. So when you take the midfield, you dictate the game. He who takes control of the midfield will dictate most of the tempo of the game. So that's practically what you can see that even the two teams, they are playing a 5-man midfield. So it's just a battle of who gets to take hold of the midfield. Then we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah. All right, with this same formation, Mr. Shegu, with this same formation, we see Simon Inzaghi leaving Dzeko and Martinez as the two last men.
Yeah. It's always either Dzeko plays or Lukaku plays. We saw how much the good work Dzeko did against AC Milan in the first leg. We saw the wonderful goal he scored in that game. And we know how clinical a striker he is. So when you look at Lautaro Martinez, though this season is not looking like his best season, and even though it's not his best season, he's still getting the good number of goals. I think he has over 20 goals this season already. Yeah. Though he still has to work on his on his end product, that is finishing. Yes, he has to work on it, and this is an attack from them all. So Dzeko and Lautaro Martinez are actually the best pair Inter Milan can actually use in this game. Because Lukaku is not really looking like the Lukaku we saw at Inter Milan 2 seasons ago. He hasn't regained that confidence back. Probably they might not be signing permanently from Chelsea, but that's will surely go into the end of the season. So we can see what will go up about Lukaku. But you know the good thing about having Lukaku on the bench is that when it comes to the 65th minute or 60 minutes in the second half, you can also bring in Lukaku after Dzeko has done some good work. Lukaku on his own day too is another threat. He's a fantastic striker and someone that can make things happen.
All right, let's quickly look at the tactical formation of AC Milan. AC Milan, they played at home the first leg, and they are playing at home somehow. But as you stand in Italy, you call it away. Yeah. Now they are playing 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, diamond formation. Typical AC Milan formation. Whenever they have Leao available. Many of their attacking threats is towards Leao this season. Any game he doesn't play, they struggle as in a very, very, very bad way. That explains how it's like when he's present, it gives the other guys more courage and morale booster for them. So when they play like this now, what they will start doing is they'll start looking for Leao with the ball. And they have Diaz too. So when Leao is on the field, it's like, the opponent will have it in mind that there's a guy here that can do the damage. Then when you have a guy like that, that means about 2 players is off for the opponent because they will want to stay on him and watch him so that it doesn't cause damage. And that's advantages similar. With him there, you can free up Diaz, Messias, and even Giroud up front. So when you attract 2 men to yourself, it gives you advantage going forward. So they really missed that in the first leg. But this second leg, it looks more like AC Milan is out for business because they actually have the fair share of the ball possession already, as they have shown a few minutes ago. So with this formation, they want to dominate. They want to find a way to hit hard, and hopefully we can enjoy the game.
Right, hopefully we can enjoy the game. Let me just quickly read out the starting lineup of the Inter Milan side. You have HRB, Barella, Bastoni, Kalagoglu, Demian, Demarco, Dumfries, Dzeko, Martinez, Mkhitaryan, Onana. That is the starting line of the Inter squad. Is it a good one?
Yeah, it's truly a good one. It's a game of this is a team. Don't forget, most of these players actually played for AC Milan. Inter Milan when they won the league, I think 2 seasons ago. AC Milan also won the league last season. So, like I said, it's a familiar foe. And you're looking at this team, they have experience. You have a Mkhitaryan in the midfield. That's a player that's played for some of the big teams in Europe. So the team surely has experience. And as Dzeko, like we rightly said up front, is another goal threat. That is a goal-getter that you can have in your team. He promises goals whenever he plays. So it's a very good squad.
A very good squad. Okay, let me read that the one of AC Milan. The starting lineup. You have Calabria, Diaz, Giroud, Amandes, Kronik, Leo, Maignan, Moisesia, then Thiaw, Tomori, then Tonali.
Yeah. Tonali, the Italian defensive midfielder, the guy that sent Reece James to a few months, that tackle really ensured that Reece James missed the FIBA World Cup 2022. Is a very, very good holding midfielder, defensive midfielder. But looking at it holistically, the squad is virtually just a bit over average. It's not an exceptional squad. Compared to Inter Milan has a better squad. That's why, I was saying last week that people should comment purely. Managing a crop of mostly average guys. Even when Leao came to AC Milan, it was not the Leao we knew now. He grew a lot in AC Milan, and that has to do a lot with coaching. So we have to give it to Pioli. He can only make do with what he has. And with what he has already eliminated Napoli. So what more can we say? Let's just hope that football is fair to them today, and the God of soccer is on their side.
All right, prior to this match, or just while watching this match, what is your tactical thought? I don't want to say prediction of this match.
Yeah, I'll actually be going for a full-time draw because I don't know, Inter Milan will actually want to contain any amount of pressure that is coming in from AC Milan. Rafael is just coming back from injury. Thiaw Hernandez is not really the Thiaw of last season. He hasn't really gotten that much fitness. And these are some of the major threats from the AC Milan team. I expect AC Milan to come out, try to get the goals, but only Rafael can do it all. And look, Olivier Giroud will also be waiting for for services from the wing and wherever the services would come from, because it looks like their major goal threat. So I'm trying to see this game ending in a full-time draw, because 2-0 is a very big margin. So there's no pressure. There's no pressure on Inter Milan side. The pressure is actually on AC Milan. Then you look at another competition in this thing. In this game, I really want people to look at is the goalkeepers. That's Magnam and Onana. These are two fantastic goalkeepers. They've had a very great season this season. Magnam, they got Magnam from Lille last season, this season, and Onana also came in from last season. Yeah. Onana also came in from Ajax. Two fantastic goalkeepers for both teams.
Two fantastic goalkeepers for both teams. Mr. Adeyemi, what is your own?
The tactical approach, I think, is that normally Inter will want to soak pressure. They know AC Milan will bring the game to them. Now, I think AC Milan should be more on the attacking foot, because you need to get a goal at least in the first half.
In the first half, yeah.
Because when you score in the first half, then the pressure that is on AC Milan will shift to Inter. It's like mind games. Yes. That was a good save by the Sunderland goalkeeper. Yeah. Wow. So, it's like, football has a lot to do with mind games, yeah, psychological things. And when you look at it, AC Milan, if they get a goal as of now, I expect them first 20 minutes of the game. The coach should have told them, attack, and try to get a goal. That would have put them in a better position of winning, yeah, and increase the pressure on Inter Milan. Even if they score now, Inter Milan knows that, okay, we have less than an hour just to defend. But the earlier they go, the better for AC Milan. Yeah. So what I feel he should be doing is, you don't have a business using two OD midfielders. It will delay your transition. And you have 6 bodies behind the ball. You have 4 bodies ahead. You need to increase the bodies up front if you want to score. So that means sacrifice one OD midfielder for an attacking midfielder. Then when you try to rush them, you get the 2 goals, you bring in your defensive midfielder back. Then you balance the game. Then you see where it goes from there. But with this, the game will just be balanced. The way it looks, it's most likely, like Shegun has said, it might end up in a draw. Because I think the coach should be playing more attacking-minded football. Yeah. Because now you are 2-0 down, so you throw caution to the wind. Yeah. You have to take risk. And that risk, many of the time, it comes to work. Sometimes it doesn't. Now, I think what he will be trying to do is, okay, let's see where it goes. Second half, maybe 60 minutes, he will now introduce an attacker for a midfielder, where by the time he's there for Inter, we just, okay, let's just burn out this 30 minutes, 20 minutes. To defend for 90 minutes is different for 30 minutes. So one is easier than the other. But I still feel that the game is still open. But to me, if it continues like this two approach, it's tilting towards Inter.
Right, so Mr. Shegun, the absence of Rafael Leao in the last the first leg, a lot of people were saying probably because he was not there. That was why there was no bite. There was no bite in the attack of AC Milan. I think 4 of their players that were absent at that first leg are present here, right? In this very particular match right now. They are back, apart from the Ismail, one of their midfielder. That's off for the season. That's all for the season. You understand?
And that's another player they're actually missing.
Yeah. So apart from it, so do you think these present players that are present now in this very match today can make any difference? Because what have we seen so far? Are they making it? Are they even better than the one that played the first leg? Because I've not seen any bite. I don't know what you have seen.
Yeah, there's not really bites in the game, because all I'm trying to see in this game, all I've been seeing in this game is them trying to get the ball into Rafael Leao's leg. And the same Rafael Leao we are seeing in this game, the last time they showed his face, we could see the frustration on his face, because he is not getting into the game as much as he wants. Inter Milan are actually playing about 2 defenders to cover only him up there. And they know that that's where their attacking threat is actually coming from. Yeah, like Yemi rightly said, this AC Milan team looks average, but there's one thing in the team, it has to be experience. And like they do say that experience is the best teacher. They have the experience. You have a team that has Olivier Giroud up front, a team with Tonali in the midfield. Yeah, Tonali, we might look at Tonali as a young guy, but the experience is there. We have Thiago in this team also. these are guys capable of rising up to bring something out of nothing in a game of football. Though I'm not taking anything away from Inter Milan. I think Inter Milan, they're actually home and dry. They are in control of the game as it is. The game is actually being played the way Inter Milan wants it to be. That is what I'm saying in this game. So it's just on AC Milan to try and devise a means. Probably take Rafael away from the midfield, from the wing, and bring him to the central midfield. And let's see if he can actually do something, because on that is wing. Nothing much is coming from there at all.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Yemi, let's quickly talk about the championship playoff between Luton and Sunderland. Yeah. It is 1-0 in favor of Luton. The first leg ended 2-1 in favor of Sunderland in their own home. Yeah. You know, it was Luton that scored first, and Sunderland equalized. Now Luton have scored again. I don't know whether they will equalize. I don't know what brings about the playoff when it comes to the championship.
Okay. First of all, there are some teams that when they start the championship season, what they want to be is to be in the playoff. Why? Because of the money in the finals. If you win, anyone that wins this year's playoff will go with 173 million pounds. Just
that is
78 million pounds.
That is huge.
And it will be paid over the space of time of 3 seasons. And that's why you can see Nottingham Forest that won last season. They bought almost more than a full squad and a reserve bench. Wow. You understand? So there's money in the playoff. You know, playoff is just born out of, one of those technical ways of English thinkers trying to make the
that is versatile, my Leo. We begin to see the impact it's making.
I think this Liao should be given a free
roll. Yes,
whenever he's in your wing, switch, so that they can't man-mark him. If you cannot man-mark Liao, Inter will be in trouble. So
this is the kind of space Inter Milan should actually be careful of, because Rafael is a player that is actually always looking for space. Once he gets the space to run into you, then that is almost it for him.
Yes, that's almost it. And to the Luton,
you're talking about the Luton
Sunderland game. So, championship playoff is who will replace the number. We have first, second, third. Yeah. In English Premier League, 18, 19, 20 are the ones that get relegated. That's 3 teams. Yeah. Then you need 3 teams to come up. So the first and second is automatic qualification. Then the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth will go for playoff. They call it championship playoff. Even League 1 too, they do playoff. League 2 do playoff. It's a way just extending the matches and making more money. And there are more sponsorship and everything. Football is first business before entertainment. So then the third team, Luton was the third team. The third team will usually face the 6th team, while the 4th team will face the 5th team in the semi-finals. Okay. So whoever wins...
Against round of play.
That's
one of the things I was saying about this goalkeeper, that the goalkeepers might actually be the one who determines this game.
Look at that.
That was a sharp reflex from
that was a good save by the goalkeeper.
It was a straight header to him. The ball came to where he was. If he had placed it a little.
And if Inter Milan should get a goal in this first half, I think that might just be it in this game.
The game is beginning to be intense. I think they are waking up right now. This is what we expected to see in the semi-final of the Champions League. When you watch the match between Arsenal and Newcastle, was it Brighton? Yeah. It was an interesting match. That's why the fact Arsenal were beaten it's something you want to watch and watch again.
Yeah, when you're watching Italian teams, most teams it's just Italian Serie A lately. For the past, I think, 4 years, you can see that they are actually switching from that Italian pragmatic way. You can see even Juventus sacking Allegri and bringing in Seri. It's just, that direction. You can see the kind of football Napoli is playing. So they are trying to play more expressive football, because they are now seeing that it's like the world...
another attempt. Another attempt
for Lautaro Martinez. So it's like the world is now shifting from that pragmatic way of playing to a more entertaining and more ball-playing way of winning trophies. You can see that most of the times Juventus got to the final, they couldn't overcome the last hurdle because of the way they play. Because of the way they play. So that's one of the reasons why I think they switched to Serie. That marriage didn't really end well. And they tried again, and it didn't end well. They had to go back and bring Allegri. And they switched to their pragmatic way. But looking at Napoli this season, the expressive football, the entertaining football they bring in, and the guys to express themselves on the field, you can see how they've been fantastic this season. And to the championship stuff that I was saying, fourth we play 5. Then who wins between the 3rd and 6th? And the 4 and 5 is both home and away fixture. And we now go to Wembley to decide the final. And the final will be played this weekend in Wembley Stadium. You know, the traditional ground of the English football Football Association. So we are rooting for. It's always very close. It's always very tight because you know when you have that kind of money at stake, you know some guys will want to die on the field of play. And the way it looks, Sunderland won first leg 2-1. Luton leading right now. If it ends like this, I think it will be good for extra time and penalty. And many of the times, championship mostly is decided by penalty shootout. A lot of times, penalty shootout decides it. So everybody wants to be very careful. And even Luton is lucky that they got an early goal. And tomorrow we see who will progress between the other two teams that is coming up tomorrow.
All right,
we hope to see. But most likely, I think Luton has been a very good team over the years. From, I think 7 years ago, they were in the National League.
It's actually one of the smallest stadiums
in England. Promoted to League 2, promoted to League 1, and to Championship. And now they are in the playoffs, playing I think 2 or 3 seasons in the Championship. They are a team to look forward to get ahead, and maybe next season we see them in the Premier League if the result goes their way in this playoff.
Thank you very much, Adeyemi. When in the course of his talking, he talked about Juventus, and yesterday we saw Juventus played.
Day before yesterday,
we saw Juventus played, and one thing that captured my attention was Pogba. Pogba got an injury that he was out for the season. What's your reaction to that?
I didn't know that he's injury prone. I think it's getting to the point where he has to sit down. He has to sit himself down and actually ask himself, what do they want for football? We actually knew what caused the issue between him and Manchester United. Him wanting more money, him wanting a longer contract. And this is a player that is not always fit. Or is not always fit to play the game of football. Probably it's about time he has to reason with himself, like, is there anything he has to offer? Because looking at the French national team itself right now, they've actually moved on from from Pogba. Having guys like Camavinga and Tchouameni in that team, they've moved on from him. Same thing Juventus, they've played a lot of games without him. I'm sure Juventus will actually even be blaming themselves that why did they get
that's a
another goal for Luton! As it stands, Luton is leading 2-0. That means they are top of Sunderland.
Ahead.
Aggregate 3-2.
If it stays this way, Luton is
going away to Wembley.
Wow,
that's nice.
That's a big goal. Yeah, okay. Talking about Pogba, after the injury, what captured my attention most was his reaction, because he was crying as if it was because to me the way he was crying, his reaction showed as if that is the end.
No, it's not about that. He's an emotional footballer. That is not about Pogba. He's actually an emotional footballer. And you have to look at the decline of Pogba and look at what Eden Hazard is also going through at Real Madrid. It's almost the same kind of issue, because we know Hazard was almost always injured when he just joined Real Madrid, until when he couldn't bench Vinicius. So I'm trying to see it from the angle that Pogba has to sit himself down and actually talk to himself. Probably this is the time he has to take that break from football. I think he's 30 years already. He has won almost everything in football. He has the World Cup. He has
not won the Champions League.
The Champions League. Not everybody will win the Champions League. Zlatan Ibrahimovic too didn't have the Champions League. So not everybody will win the Champions League. But he already had a fulfilled career already. So it's just about time he has to sit himself down and talk to himself. Because I don't really see him getting much from Pogba. He's not a player that can play 20 games a season anymore.
There are times that this is just a phase in football.
Or it's not more looking like a phase. Three to 4 seasons now, Pogba can't play 20 games. So it's not more looking like a phase anymore.
The last season, the issue he had is it is with his tie, and it seems treating it. I don't think they consider some things properly because it's a very sensitive part of the leg. So he has been treating come back, go again, come back, go again. Many footballers, if you see consistent footballers, you have to take out Messi and Ronaldo. They came from another planet. So if you have played back to back for some season, you have one injury season many of the time. De Bruyne had it the season after the Russia FIFA World Cup. Hazard had it. That was the season after. Hazard issue wouldn't have blown out like this if he had stayed at Chelsea.
Yeah.
The medical team understood how they were managing him. So it would have been one season thing. And he had history with Chelsea. So they would just reintroduce him to the lineup. That was what De Bruyne had. When he had that injury, it was in the team that he was. And so they understood how to manage it. And when he was fit again, the following season, he came into the lineup and started doing what De Bruyne used to do. But you can't blame Real Madrid. Hazard has not created any memories for them. So they are looking at Hazard is just another player here. And Vinicius is doing better. We bench Hazard. After that one season, Hazard had injury. His injury record has been coming down. It's not as much as it used to be. So the same thing now is tilting towards Pogba. Pogba is just in a team whereby in the midfield, when Pogba is Pogba, he can bench all of them. If it were Madrid, where you have equal replacement for almost every wing, that would be a problem for him. It's just, injury is psychologically painful. I think that was why he was crying. When you've been out for a while and you get your first start of the season, and you get injured like that 24th minute or thereabout, it is painful. Even the footballers that don't cry before, you can't cry because it's very, very painful. That means a whole season gone, and he just came to Juventus this summer actually. And it's a very painful one for him. What he just needs to do is getting injured at a very point in time whereby the season is going to an end. Calmly go to a specialist, let them treat him very well, and maybe take his mind off football for 4 months to 6 months. Recover fully before he now starts rehabilitation. Because many of the times they rush these guys. And I understood the fact that Juventus really needed him at some point. So maybe they had over-rushed him to come back when he shouldn't have. And it's a sensitive place. If they don't treat it very well, it can end his career. So you should be patient. Football is not going anywhere.
All right. The first half of the match between Inter Milan versus AC Milan have come to an end. The first half have come to an end and it is goalless. Goalless, nobody has scored. We saw Rafael Leao with a very, very, very close attempt. But they say when you shoot bird, near bird no go fit keep it. Nearly cannot kill a bird. That was how we used to say those days when we were going to primary school. Nearly cannot kill a bird. Almost, but that's a good one for them. Talking about the match between Luton and Sunderland has also come. The first half has also come to an end. But there's something special about this Luton team. Because if you look at it, in their last, they have been unbeaten in their last 12 matches, except Sunderland and beat them. Yes. Because they had 8 wins and 4 draws. It was Sunderland that broke that run. Yeah. That means they are fantastic. And now what we are seeing is like they are showing who they really are.
Yeah, they're actually a modest team, no doubt. They're a modest team and not really that big team. But we know how big the championship is. We know how much some teams do spring up these surprises every season in the championship, coming into the playoff. like you rightly said, the playoff consists of 4 teams that is from the third to sixth position. So probably they found themselves there this season. I've not really followed them much, but from the little I've seen of them of recent from this playoff against Sunderland, I never gave them any chance against Sunderland because I look at Sunderland as a team that has experience playing in the EPL, and they have some fantastic players also in that team. A team that has what's it called, Patrick Roberts, the former Manchester City player. In this team, it shows how big Sunderland can be against them. But coming up against Sunderland today, 2-0 up. I remember what I said when we saw the first goal. I said, "Oh, another initial gra." But seeing them 2 goals up, it's actually showing that it's not initial gra.
Yeah.
Looking at how small they are, I really want them to come to the EPL. It's always beautiful when these small teams comes to the EPL to have an experience of mingling with the big boys for 38 weeks. Yes, they might not stay in the EPL, and who knows, they might actually do something fantastic in the league also, like some teams.
Yeah. And I think this Luton, because I've been following them for close to a decade, this team, the way they run the club is like the club is well managed. The person in charge, they understand what is called football. Because when you transcend from National League, it took them, the season they got to the National League, the same season they got, the season they promoted to League 2, the same season they promoted to League 1. Like, the season they got there, that same season they promoted. They got promoted. League 1, they didn't use more than 1 or 2 seasons. They got promoted to champion. This is like, I think, 2nd or 3rd season in championship. Yeah. And they're in playoff. Yeah. So this team, what I just see is if they continue to manage this team the way they have been managing it, there's every tendency if they get to the Premier League, they will stay for a while. Because this team is a quality. Because last season, they were mid-table. They were close to the playoff spot last season. Yeah. And this season, they have 80 points. Again, why they were on that run was that there was a time Sheffield United was dropping points. So when they were dropping points, they were like, trying to get the second automatic spot. I was looking at it that, Sunderland got into this playoff position on goal difference. The same point with Blackburn. But they had superior goal difference. That's just the saving grace they had. And Luton Town, with the way they've played this season, they've been a terrible team to play at home. They've made their home their fortress. That explains they are 2-0 up, comfortable. I said it earlier that it's tilting towards Luton to win the playoff. And the way I'm looking at it, is like it's a surplus.
If they win the playoff this time around, that means this is the first time in 3 seasons, because they've gotten to the semi-final in 3 seasons and they have not won. Yeah. They have not won any AFL. They always get to the semi-final to playoff. 3 times they played. The last one they played 3 draws and 4 lost in the semi-final they played. That means they have not come. They have not gone across beyond this. Probably this one is going to be a different. It's going to be a different.
Yes, it's already looking likely to be a different one, but. We don't really know what Sunderland can come up with in the second half. Sunderland has the Manchester United Amad Diallo up front, so they have quality in that team. But I don't take anything away from Luton, like I said in the first half. I really want to see them in the final. I really want to see them in the EPL because, like I said it last week when I was talking about the stadium that they have one of the smallest stadiums in England. So it's always great. I really want to see them in the final. Let them have that.
Let them have that feeling of bigger. Yeah. But we're talking about Sunderland too. Sunderland have a very good record because they have 10 match unbeaten, 5 win, 5 draw. They have not been beaten in 10 matches. So they also can. It's a balanced team for both of them to play.
It's a balanced team, but Luton has more quality. Yeah. When you look at them, they have this Adebayo, the guy with the Nigerian descent. Yeah. Many of these guys were given it was the system that was on ground in England that gave them maybe their parents relocating abroad, and some of them were born there and bred there. They just have a Nigerian name. Yeah. So Adebayo has been one of their go-to guys this season. He also scored the first goal in the first leg of the playoff. So with that, I think Luton should be home. If Sunderland scores 1, I think Luton will score. The only challenge they have in this playoff is if Middlesbrough progress ahead of Coventry.
Okay.
Middlesbrough too, coached by Michael Carrick.
And they have our very own, what's it called, the Chuba Akpong. Who was the highest scorer in the championship. I think my biggest one is actually on Middlesbrough this season because they're actually having a fantastic season.
And funny enough, when Michael Carrick was brought in, they were close to the relegation zone.
Wow. Yeah.
And when he got the job, took them up, they started making points straight up.
12 unbeaten.
If not for the consistency of Burnley and Sheffield, the Luton and Middlesbrough would have taken one of their spots.
All right, we're on break time. Let's quickly talk about the pressure Jurgen Klopp is giving to Manchester United and Newcastle now, because the win now, the gap now is just 1 point, though with a game in hand for both teams. But the pressure now is in fact the top 4 now is still open. Very open.
The fourth position is very much open.
Third is still open.
Well, I won't really see Manchester United and Newcastle. I won't really see 2 of them dropping because it's just one of them that is going to drop. That's why I'm actually the fourth position is open.
Okay.
Because looking at the running games, Manchester United still has a date with Chelsea, which we know can actually go anyway. It might go into draw and might go Manchester United way, and it might even go Chelsea way that day. And you're looking at Liverpool. I think we said it here. There was a day we were saying it.
Somebody was saying it.
Teams are not paying attention to Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool, and it's getting the wins. 7 or 12 wins on the bounce, and nobody's
7
paying,
wins.
7 wins on the bounce, and nobody's paid. That's 21 points. At the point, Liverpool were 10th position, Chelsea were 11th position. And see them piling up 21 points to find themselves 5th position, 1 point behind the Champions League. And look at their remaining 2 matches. And Newcastle, 3 matches. Sorry. Newcastle also still has a date with Chelsea. Manchester United has a date with Chelsea. And at the end of the day, maybe on the last day of Premier League, one of these 2 teams are going to drop for Liverpool.
And
I would really like it to be Manchester United.
And like it to be Manchester. Man, you fans, and they look you.
I would really like it to be Manchester
United. Their standing of Newcastle is against Brighton.
It's against Brighton.
Their standing of
on Thursday.
Man U is against Chelsea. And there's one thing about that Man U Chelsea fixture for a while now, mostly draws. And if Man U drop a point, it can be dangerous. And Man U doesn't have a superior goal difference. Their goal difference is not that high. So if there's anybody, if goal difference we favor, it will be Newcastle. And look at how Liverpool is raking in goals. So we are in for a very sweet and silk end of the season, both towards the end of the table and the Champions League spot.
Just see the Liverpool game yesterday. Salah didn't score anything, but 3 assists.
3 assists for Salah, and the 2 goals were scored by Curtis Jones.
Somebody
who was not, he was not like in the first team. Yeah, first team, and the first time he was forced. He said he was forced. He was forced to change.
Injury actually dealt on Liverpool a big blow this season. And it fully fits. As I'm looking at Arsenal, if Arsenal are not winning the EPL this season, it's going to be a big problem for them next season, because next season I might actually not see them making, or I might not be putting my money on them making the top 4, because you're going to have a rejuvenated Chelsea, Liverpool, Newcastle with more money, pushing for top 4. Tottenham too are also coming back with a new coach, pushing for top 4, and you have Manchester United. It's going to be a widened league and a widened fight for that top 4 position this season.
Let's talk about Salah. You talk about the hat-trick in assists. How do we qualify that one? When we give 3 assists, is it hat-trick in assists?
Hat-trick of assists.
Apart from that, he has had 19 goals this season in the Premier League and 10 assists now. With that 3, making it 10 assists. So that is spectacular this season.
Yeah, it's spectacular. It's spectacular this season. That is what's it called?
Mohamed
Salah. But Liverpool form is actually what is making people not really paying attention to Mohamed Salah's season. Same thing with the goalkeeper Alisson Becker. He's having a fantastic season, but the overall team performance is what is making people not looking at them as having a good season. And you have Alan, who swept everybody off their feet with 35 goals. 36 goals
36
this season
goals,
already.
yeah.
So it's making everybody on 20, 19, 17 looking like
like a
they
small
didn't score
boy.
anything. When I saw Callum Wilson number of goals this season, I was like, Wilson on 17 goals. It's not looking like he has 17 goals already this season. So 19 goals for Salah, who is playing as a winger, who lost another talisman in Mane, and Luis Diaz has not really been available in that team, and him getting 19 goals and 10 assists shows how much this team depends on Salah to perform this season. And when best can you get it? Towards the end of the season, and he has been their main man for the goals, and he's actually delivering for the team. So I expect him to deliver, and that's very good of him. If he's not scoring, he is assisting.
If he's not scoring, he's assisting. But when we look at the Liverpool, you look at Nunes, you look at Mo Salah, and you look at the other Brazilian,
Firmino.
Firmino, and another. These are the conventional Liverpool players we know before, and their connectivity. The way the transition play has really changed.
Yeah. Looking at club this season, his body language is, at the end of the season, a lot of guys will go. They have to renew. If you listen, he's a very wise man that knows how to use his words. It's not like Mourinho that will just say it as it is. He has a way of communicating. So it's like, you can see them in for McAllister, in for Mount. Yeah. So they want to revitalize their midfield because actually they have attackers now. Yeah. Gakpo, Nunes. Yeah. People are just expecting too much from Nunes because everybody can't be Alan. Nunes is just trying to settle down.
He has a fantastic first season.
And he's on his level too.
10 goals or 9 goals.
Yes, now he's not bad.
So he has a fantastic goal record.
Not bad.
Fantastic start in EPL. Though he lost some glaring chances.
In fact, some chances that they should beat him.
We've seen him play some good, fantastic football against teams like Manchester United, and I think Arsenal, we saw him play some fantastic football against Arsenal also. It's just like the standards people used to rate Fernando Torres when he was at Chelsea. People don't really look at the goals he scores. They focus on how much goals or how much chances he actually missed. This is what Nunes is also facing at Liverpool. But I expect him to come in great or come in good for them next season. It will actually be his second season next season, so I expect him to be home and drive for them.
Yeah. So when you now look at it, they will just bring in more midfielders. Because I think they have tired legs in the midfield. Yeah. And Firmino will end up his last contract. So by summer he's leaving for free. So I think Liverpool next season will be the Liverpool we used to know.
Yeah.
All right. The second half is about to begin, and you can see Tonali there, and you can see Simeon Inzaghi, and you can see all the players. They are out into the field any moment from now. The referee will blow the commencement of the second half. Let's quickly look at the bench of the two sides, and let us see whether the managers have a plan. For Inter Milan,
of course they will have a plan.
Definitely. Let's see whether we can preempt their plan. Okay. So Inter Milan have Aslani, Belanova, Brozovic, Codex, Correa. Then they have Ambrosio, they have Vich, they have Kagladoni, Goseni, Andanovic, Lukaku, Stakovic. That is,
I think,
the bench of Inter Milan.
Yeah. It's actually a rich bench because you're looking at a player. When you look at your bench, you're having players like Lukaku, you're having Correa, and you're having Brozovic. Brozovic is another fantastic midfielder. And you're having this type of three players. You can actually bring them into the game. Shows how rich your bench is. And I think at a point in this game, we'll actually see Lukaku and Brozovic. That is setting. But I think the Inter team is actually a compact team. They don't have anything to rush. They don't have anything to push over themselves. If they can keep this scoreline like this till like 70 minutes, I think that's what they're actually even playing towards. Just try and control the game. Make sure the ball is not getting to Rafael Leao. It's not getting involved in the game as much as they want. And they're containing it perfectly.
All right, the last match they played, Lukaku was at the bench, and he came in around the 70-something minutes, and he tried. He made some
It's
little.
got two goals in the last game. I think was it against Sampdoria?
That's
Sassuolo. Yeah, Sassuolo. Yeah, he scored that for the Italian Serie A. Yeah. I was actually talking about the Champions League. The last Champions League he did not score, but the one against the Italian, he scored two. Probably is going to make a difference here today.
No, he didn't score last Champions League.
He didn't score. I mean, the last
Italian Serie A, because it started the match.
Okay, good.
And I think maybe because they want to rest Zeko for this match. So Lukaku, we don't know the Lukaku that will turn up. It's just not predictable.
Is it too?
Yeah, you don't know the one. Is it the one you will open the book of lamentation for? Or the one that you say, oh, Lukaku is back? He has not been stable. People criticize a lot that, oh, because he went to Chelsea. No. Bulk of the blame. Chelsea paid 100 million for a finished product. Not a player you'll be giving playing time to now grow, to get to a point where you'll be scoring goals.
A striker that was he was at the peak of his career.
At the peak of, yes, now 28.
So I don't
just
expect any coach coming in
to
start
training you and giving you babysitting you. No. So I don't blame Tuchel for benching him. So he's the one that, and look at the arrogant way he busted out and created a scandal. So, and he's one of these arrogant players. And when you're arrogant, your greatness will be limited. It's very, very, very clear. Once you get arrogant, your greatness will be limited. So you don't know the Lukaku that will come. Now, I don't think Inter even has the money to say, okay, they want to cough it out to buy him.
I think they'll likely be taking him back on loan.
On loan, yeah.
Because I don't think he himself wants to stay at Chelsea. Because I've been seeing it in the news, Pochettino speculation about Pochettino saying he's going to talk to Lukaku and see maybe he'll be interested in staying next season. But I don't think Lukaku will want to stay. We knew how he left Chelsea. He wants to have.
But this is new ownership.
Yes, it's about new ownership. But I don't think he will want to have that head-to-head with the fans, because the fans actually knows what happened, how he left. He really messed up that relationship between him and Chelsea fans. Yeah. So I don't really see him coming back. Chelsea will actually go for another striker. That is certain.
And even him coming back, Pochettino already said he wants a mobile striker. So either he's coming back or not, Chelsea will buy another striker. Then if he wants to be in a team that really wants to win, that means he has to compete. Oh, that was a poor finish. I think I did buy it there. So we are in for an interesting game. Let's just see. It looks most likely that Inter is home and dry.
Yeah. And the match between Luton Town versus Sunderland is really heating up. It's a battle. It's like the Sunderland just realized that if as it stands, they are going nowhere. And that is why they are putting this fight. And a beautiful move from the Sunderland. The second half has been a very nice one for the Sunderland. You can see the fight. The match is even intense than the Champions League.
When you can look at 178 million pounds in front of you, it will be intense. And one of the terrible times to concede a goal is towards the end of the first half. Wow. It's very terrible because it changes the complexity of things totally. So you don't have a chance to react. You don't have a chance to say, okay, now you just have to go into the dressing room disappointed. Because you just concede the goal. You've not sweat out. You've not played out this. Sometimes you concede 20 minutes, you sweat. It's still 1-0, but you are not thinking about the goal again. But when you concede towards the end of the first half, it's really demoralizing. When you start, it takes mental strength to a certain level to come back from such a blow. That's why it's one of the most interesting way of ending the first half. Like, it can be terrible to teams.
All right, let's quickly look at the bench of AC Milan. The bench of AC Milan, they have Balotelli, they have the Catellas, Florizzi, Cabia, Kalulu, Jars, Merante, Nava, Origi, Pobega, then Rebic, and then Salamakas.
Shows how ordinary the AC Milan team is. Because you're looking at the bench, there's no really those big names you can actually look at the threats on the bench. Maybe when we talk about maybe Diaz can actually come in and change some things.
Diaz is in the
Oh, he's the
starting
starting
lineup.
level. I was thinking he was on the bench also.
The only guy here is also Wiggy.
And even Origi is not a threat. Okay, maybe Rebic can actually be a threat up front. Because we've not really seen much of Mitias in this game. He can actually come in and do some damages. But the time is actually ticking and the time is going. We're in the 52nd minute for Christ's sake. So I think the coach should actually, Paoli should actually be trying to sit up and see what can he do in this game. It's like Inter this game for the next 3 days without scoring anything. We saw it in the first leg. The second half they came into that game. The way they rushed into the first half and scored the 2 goals, we are actually thinking this game is going to be a lot of goals.
We're going to have 2.5 there.
And they closed the office immediately. Yeah. Played about 6. A team that can play 70 minutes without conceding anything. What is now 90 minutes for them? What is now 40 minutes or 35 minutes for them to play? So it's looking likely to be a full-time draw in this game.
All right. But we talked about the Ishmael before, the one that is not there. Then we talk about Ibrahimovic. Those who are missing in play. Ibrahimovic have been inactive for the past months. When you talk about AC Milan squad,
that man is 41 years old.
He's old. If you don't leave football,
so injury tells, and the body reacts for it.
Is he learning coaching under?
No, he's just playing
Ibrahimovic as a coach.
Big brother role. Just to.
I don't see Ibrahimovic going into coaching at the end of his career.
I think was it Leao or that? There are some point that he can hold down. Like, how you know those threats,
big brother
those
stuff.
foul languages. He said Ibrahimovic can be crazy when it comes to winning mentality, and that I think it has helped them because since he joined, AC Milan has really their mentality has improved. So I think it's not more of what he would do on the field. It's more of what he would do off the field. Because see, the reality is the same thing with Ronaldo. If you don't leave football will leave you. So that's how it works.
All right, earlier on, we talked about the officiating. You know, has it been fair in this very particular match?
The game is like the referee decisions are actually fair. There's no, and there hasn't been any controversial decisions from the referee. So the game is actually balanced and is allowing a good flow of football. It's allowing us to see a good flow of football.
All right. Talking about the Luton match. A goal for Sunderland now will make it 3-3.
Yeah, that's why the game is actually looking more interesting than the Champions League because at 2-0, it's still Luton are still in a dicey position because Sunderland knows that just one goal will push this game into extra time. And you know the confidence just one goal can actually bring to this Sunderland team. Once they get that one goal, they can actually push and believe in themselves that they can get the second goal. Because even Luton will actually want to come out more to get one more goal. But I think Luton might actually get a goal. At 3-0, it's actually a good result for them. Because they were actually unlucky to lose that first leg.
All right, let us quickly look at the statistics of the match today between Inter Milan versus AC Milan. Ball possession, Inter Milan 46, AC Milan 54. Goal attempt, 8 goal attempt for Inter Milan, then 4 for AC Milan. Inter Milan, they are leading, but they are still having more goal attempt. Shot on goal, 1-1 for both sides. Then shot off goal, 4 for Inter, 2 for AC Milan. Corner kicks, 4 for Inter, 2 for AC Milan. Goalkeeper save, 1-1 for both teams. Yellow card, 1 yellow card for AC Milan.
The interesting thing here is that whoever is facing either Real Madrid or Real Madrid or Manchester City amongst these two teams are actually going to lose that game.
It's like we are having a caller on the line. Hello. Hello. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is
Your name is Ben, and you are calling from the US. Mr. Ben, how are you today?
Yes. I'm all right, thank you.
All right. I hope you are watching the Champions League as it's unfolding.
I am not. I am actually on the road. I'm driving. That's why I'm calling in.
Okay.
Follow up with the scores.
All right. Right now, it is the 56th minute into the second half, and it is goalless for both sides. And we can see Inter Milan dominating possession. Inter Milan having more shot on goal. Inter Milan having more goal attempt than AC Milan. That is how it stands right now. So, who do you support to win this encounter today?
Obviously, I don't care who win it today. I just care who win it tomorrow.
All right. You just care who win it tomorrow. And who do you want to win tomorrow?
Of course, Real Madrid.
Real Madrid, okay. Your boss is playing tomorrow. Guardiola, you don't want him to win.
Yeah, no, I don't want him to win. I mean, I know it's going to be very, very hard for Real Madrid, but my prayer actually is for Real Madrid to win.
Wow. It's for Real Madrid, but you should be concerned with this very particular match today, because if you don't want Man City to carry the Champions League, you'll be concerned between AC Milan and Inter Milan, who is the better side. Probably if Manchester City happens to defeat Real Madrid tomorrow, that means they have another person to stop, another club to stop them.
Manchester City are going to, the way Manchester City should find themselves in the final. Even Real Madrid, even Madrid should find themselves in the final. The way they will defeat both.
What did you say, Mr. Ben? You say what?
The only club I thought they were going to stop Man City were the club that Man City kicked out, which was
Bayern Munich.
Bayern Munich. Yeah, so Bayern Munich was where I was having my hope, but unfortunately, they couldn't stand the breath of Man City. So, yeah, now it's just prayer for Real Madrid to see if they can. I'm just hoping that they will do the magic tomorrow.
Yes, because it is quite dangerous. Because if you look at the the level Manchester City is now, they have not lost home game in their last 13 matches. They have not lost at the Etihad, and it's a wonderful record.
Yeah, I mean, there's something else. Regardless whether you lost, you always lost at a point anyway. Maybe tomorrow will be that point that they're going to lose. So,
even the first leg, we saw what you tried.
Well,
yeah,
in football, anything can happen. But the pundit and how you call them, they are all giving it to Manchester City to win this match tomorrow. And a lot of football lovers, they are all predicting Manchester City to win this match tomorrow. But football is not like that again. Football is not like that again. We are watching the match between Luton Town versus Sunderland in the Championship playoff. Everybody expected Sunderland to just they were winning the first leg 2-1. But right now it is 2-0 in favor of Luton Town. As it stands now, Luton Town will qualify, and Sunderland we have to pack. It can be like that tomorrow. Nobody can.
Yeah, there was that odd against Chelsea and Man City on the final last time.
Yeah.
So it's always like that. We'll pray the same thing, the same spirit, God of soccer that follow Chelsea then will follow Madrid.
You are the one praying for that. You are the one praying for that.
Mr. Ben, Mr. Shegalo say you are the one praying for that too. It's not everybody.
The God of soccer doesn't favor just Real
Madrid. No, I know everybody is not Madrid fan, but that's my prayer. I want Madrid to win.
Okay.
Actually.
Okay.
I hope you put your money where your mouth is.
Well, my mind is on Madrid.
Okay.
My mind is on Madrid. Hopefully they win.
Okay.
But it's not to some extent. I will not doubt you because
that should be the third goal. Yeah.
Because a beautiful chance for Luton. Oh, that should be a penalty. Okay. Sorry. I say I will not doubt you because Real Madrid is a Champions League team. When it comes to Champions League, their ear antenna rise like this. They can beat anybody. And Ancelotti too he has broken the record because he's the only manager who has won the Champions League 4 times. And if you make it 5th, I think before any coach or any manager can get to him, will reach it maybe the next 10 years. No. So if we want to make it a
Yeah, so that is the thing. Ancelotti is a good coach, and saw what they play. I know everybody is going to go back to their drawing board, watch their previous matches, see where they make mistakes, see where they need to, and then tell the boys, hey, we lack here, we need to strengthen here. And they know the might of Man City. They might look at those places and say, you, make sure this one doesn't work. Make sure this one doesn't work. I mean, Madrid too, they have superpower in the front. The attacks too are very they are very good. So there's a possibility this thing is a game of chess. But I know that Man City have more upper hand than Real Madrid. Okay, Hopefully,
that's
Madrid's experience, see them through.
So that means that even in our area here, that means a lot of people will be celebrating Real Madrid to win tomorrow. And I know a lot of people just are happy with
it's just personal. I just see it as personal.
It's personal. But I'm very sure too. I'm very sure that in fact, you see, Real Madrid have fan base in Nigeria here. Do you know that?
They are the Galactic.
If you go to Mushin, they have their own club. They have their own club. There are many. They don't wait for interview. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. You'll be seen. You'll be surprised. You'll be seen. You go to Mushin. You'll be surprised. You will see Luton fans. You will see Sunderland fans. Plenty. There will be very plenty. So as you are tomorrow, I know it's as they pay some. You're going to see some tomorrow. So, Mr. Ben, tomorrow. Probably you will celebrate. Probably we will laugh at you tomorrow small if Manchester City win. So
it doesn't matter. I'm not like core Real Madrid fan.
Wow.
But there's one thing. Almost 90% of Chelsea fans are they are default Madrid fan.
Okay, we have. That's true.
I'm a Madrid fan.
Okay, I'm a Madrid fan for tomorrow.
I don't support Madrid.
Okay, but Mr. Shegu.
So it's technically like that.
I don't support Madrid.
I don't support Barca.
Yes, Madrid is the team I support for years.
Those most Arsenal fans are Barca fans.
All Arsenal fans
they're like default Barca fans. So that is the way it is. It's just like default Barca fan Arsenal and default Chelsea fan Madrid. So it's just like that.
Wow, that is a good analysis. You got it right. You got it right. But Mr. Shegu says it's not.
I'm not a Madrid fan.
Not a Madrid fan. Adeyemi says he's a Madrid fan. So it's divided. Tomorrow we are going to see who will take the day. We are going to see who will take the day tomorrow. It's going to. I think it's a balanced number. 50-50.
I would like you.
Shegu, you want to put your money down?
My money is on Manchester City winning tomorrow.
He says money is on Manchester City winning tomorrow.
Shegu, put your money down.
Put your money down and let's see how it goes.
You're supporting Man City tomorrow. Put your money down.
I'm not supporting Manchester City tomorrow because I have to be objective on air tomorrow. But my money is actually on Manchester City winning that game. Because I have to look at it from the angle that it's going to be it's Real Madrid are trying to monopolize the Champions League. It's going to be like an abuse on the Champions League itself. We know how big the league is. Yeah. When a team like Real Madrid is actually monopolizing, winning 4 out of 5 Champions League, it's actually not good for all of us.
It's not good PR.
It's not good for us. It's the same thing we are abusing Pep Guardiola for in the EPL. That's the same thing Real Madrid are trying to do with the Champions League. A team that is not informed in its league, coming to the Champions League, defeating everybody. And this is the team that defeated Liverpool, defeated Chelsea. Should they beat Manchester City this tomorrow? That means they've repeated the same thing they did last season. Beating the three.
No, for me, the truth is, I like Madrid. Madrid is the second team I support. But how can they Colombia champions, the whole champions?
And they are monopolizing everything.
If it's Chelsea now, we can win it back to back to back.
We are not in the year 1900. This is not the year. We are not in the year 1900.
But we have to be
objective.
About
5 at once.
We need to be objective.
The thing is, anything that takes Chelsea to final of any club is always hard for them to lose. They lose few, but some of those clubs, they die on top. The boys will die on top, except they win by penalty.
Not this season, Chelsea. Everybody can beat Chelsea this season.
That is why that is why they are top from the middle table. You know?
No,
Yeah.
Chelsea is doing promo this season. So,
For this time, they are top from middle table. But the prospect, the prospect we are seeing Chelsea.
Just will be back strong.
hopefully.
We'll be in the same studio next time.
Okay.
But just will be back
You
strong.
guys just give us
It's
rest.
recorded. This show is recorded. Hard hopefully.
Well, let's see what comes. How it unfold next season, because we can see Pochettino already. We have seen his target. That is the kind of target he's getting. In fact, it is the best purchase so far for me.
There's Nkunku also coming in.
No.
Nkunku is coming into Chelsea.
And we are getting few more players anyway.
Yeah.
So we just hope, and Pochettino is a good coach. And there is something I know. Pochettino has got to final of. I think he has got to final of the Champions League.
Yes.
And he has. Where
And he got to semi-final with
Don't let us
PSG.
overhype.
PSG.
Don't let us overhype Pochettino.
So,
it's not like Pochettino.
probably he's going to do great in
like that. So
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. He has
Hopefully.
good management. He has good management with his players. That is one thing about him. That is what I like about him. But aside that, I don't really see Pochettino as one big coach for Chelsea.
So, Mr. Ben. So, who from the target so far, Pochettino is having? He want to bring Andy Martinez, the goalkeeper. He want to bring which other player called?
It was McAllister too.
McAllister. I think he has about four players he has mentioned so far. So
all those things are still
Before Chelsea by
I don't think
player. Before Chelsea by player.
Arrizabalaga is not bad.
Okay.
you said?
I don't think Arrizabalaga is bad. I think he's good.
All right.
He just made his time. Every keeper makes mistake at a point.
Yeah.
At every point, every keeper. I mean, Mendy has been fantastic until he started making that little mistake, and then Arrizabalaga came. He comes in. All right. And when he came in, he stood up. He did well. Martinez is not like he's that better. He's not that better than Arrizabalaga. I'm telling you, it's just that every coach, they want their own people. You know, they come in, they want to do a few changes, and those are the people they are kind of comfortable with.
But I think Kepa has not been consistent. You can't want to win the league with a goalkeeper like Kepa. You need consistency at the goalpost. So I think that's what Poch will be looking at. Because if you look at the consistency, it will concede some goals, especially area balls. It's not that good area balls. Many others Chelsea considered this season. He has been a culprit. I mean Kepa. So when you look at it, you understand why he wants to change
Kepa is still young, and you know, the older they become, the better they are. It's just like Peter Cech.
Yeah, but I think
the older they become, the better they are. But Arrizabalaga, on the other hand, is not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad, but not
he
that
just needs that time to play. You know, but I'm not saying what his name Pochettino is not doing the right thing, because he knows Chelsea they don't care. If you don't win that game, maybe after one season they kick your ass out. So he wants to probably prepare himself.
Yes, of course. And I even support the Emiliano Martinez. He's more of a reliable goalkeeper. Yeah. That you can say, I have a goalkeeper behind. Yeah. You know. Yeah, maybe.
Mendy is not agreeing to the name. He's not agreeing.
He has not signed the new deal. He's waiting for the new manager to come first.
Because I think he's asking for around £170,000 every week, which Todd Boyle and his board are not actually trying to buy into. So I don't really think both of them are actually going. Anyway, both of them are going.
So, Mr. Ben, I hope you call in tomorrow when the match between Manchester City versus Real Madrid is going on, so that we can talk and we'll begin to see whether what we predicted come to pass, or probably we will smile tomorrow Or you just accept tomorrow that Guardiola is a good coach. He's the best in the world.
In favor of Madrid anyway.
All right, Mr. Ben, thanks for calling. And remember to call us tomorrow.
All right, guys, take care.
All right, thank you very much. And have a nice day.
Yeah.
Mr. You had him so far.
Well,
And he spoke, and the way he spoke now, you know that it represented so millions of people because they will be in the same. They will be in the same position.
It's a game between two teams. I expect it because surely Real Madrid are going to have their own fans, and same to Manchester City are also going to have their own fans tomorrow. But ideally speaking, we saw what happened in the first leg. How much Manchester City tried to dominate the game. It was just some share of brilliance that Madrid got that goal from Vinicius, and anything can happen tomorrow. But Manchester City at home, I'm expecting Pep, or I'm not expecting Pep to overthink tomorrow. He's going to come out with a good formation against this Real Madrid team. Try and contain Vinicius. We saw him trying to contain Benzema, and he did it perfectly in the first leg, which I expect he will know how to contain Vinicius. Though Vinicius is hard to contain, there's no right back in the world that can say he can contain Vinicius when he's in the top form of his on his day. But I expect Manchester City to take that game tomorrow.
But if you
It's a close game.
It's going. Let me tell you something. This match, the way we are looking at it, is going to be very difficult. Look, the match. Even when Manchester City were playing away, when they were at the Bernabeu, you understand? That is it! And that is the end! That is the end! Inter Milan have just hit AC Milan at the San Siro, the Mississippi Stadium, and you can see the jubilation in blue and in black. Blue and black. You can see the fans responding to the goal, celebrating. They know what is happening. They are feeling it right now that already they are going to the Istanbul for the final.
I almost think I was about to abusing Lukaku there. That's what is he doing with the ball at his feet? Because he was lost out of decision. He doesn't know what he wanted to do there. But that was a sheer brilliance. That was a great pass from him to Lautaro Martinez, and that's a typical striker goal from Lautaro Martinez there. And I can really see why Chelsea is actually
blame Lukaku.
No. The ball was actually rubbed on his leg. That was why I was looking like, what are you doing?
And the assist was from Lukaku.
Make that decision early. Good goal from Lautaro Martinez. Good combination between him and Lukaku for that goal. And that was a terrible
goalkeeping from Magna. He should be saving that.
And this might just be game over.
Not mine, as far as I'm concerned.
Because there is no miracle.
This game is over.
There is no miracle that.
AC Milan never really came into this game.
Yeah.
All they were just trying to do was get the ball to Rafael Leao. And I think Inter Milan actually came with that game plan. Just cut every pass, every cut supplies to Rafael Leao. If the supplies are not getting to Rafael Leao, then you are cutting AC Milan. And you look at the AC Milan team, it's looking like it's just a one-man team. It's looking like just Rafael Leao and vibes.
Yeah. And looking at it, if you look at that Man City game, Real Madrid, you will still see that most likely they will play the same formation they played last week. Because you see, they were able to contain each other. Just about the brilliant moment to take your chances. And if you look at it, Kyle Walker did a very good job on Vinicius last week. Very good job. Yeah. It was just that run of play where you just hit that ball. You see, I told you towards the end, they will now change, bring in strikers. No. You see, he should be doing better actually. But this one's. Before AC Milan will smell another semi-final Champions League. Only God will know.
Now the substitution, Origi is coming in. Origi is coming in. Then Salamaka is also coming in.
Matias should have gone out of this game, I think, as early as maybe like 50 or 60th minutes. He wasn't in this game at all. Even Diaz didn't really play anything, but Origi coming into this game, although I don't write him off, but I don't really see anything special he's going to do. He's not looking like a striker that will score 3 goals out within 50 minutes.
My issue with them now is why are AC Milan players frowning? They are losing 3
But probably
games.
Why are you frowning? You had 45. You have 90 minutes to play.
You know, sometimes probably they are feeling like they could have done better in this game.
When they were at home, they still did the same thing. Now they are playing. They still did the same thing. So why are you frowning? You can't do more than
Just
yourself.
like Inter Milan are the better side.
You
in this
lost
game.
a
Inter
better
Milan,
side.
They've been the better side in the 2
That's
games.
the truth. They lost a better side. Giroud has won the Champions League with
Chelsea.
one of the biggest team in Europe.
Okay.
You know,
Back to the Champions League.
It is 14th minute left. 14 minutes left with the way AC Milan is playing. I don't think there is any magic.
I don't know. There's no magic. Nothing's
So-
coming out of this. Nothing's coming out of this.
Inter have already registered their name in the Istanbul.
true to
They'll be
the-
playing
no,
this
Yeah,
now.
officially, it's not
No,
official.
not official, but the way it is now, I don't
The way
think.
it is
Mathematically.
Mathematically,
No, hopefully.
anyhow we put it, you can see Shemen Inzaghi. I think in his mind now he'll be happy with this ball.
It was just looking at, football can be very funny. You take your leg off the pedal, you can have
We saw
yourself.
Arsenal did that
Yes,
against
no.
Southampton this season.
Yeah.
Get 3 goals.
Oh, that would have been the second goal.
Wow.
That was an excellent position.
And the
goalkeeper
goal
was.
scoring form of this Martinez, Lautaro Martinez, is something to look out for. Especially with the way he's chasing Osimhen on the goal scorer in Italian Serie A. Just a goal, it's just one goal that Osimhen is using to lead him now on the goal scorer's chart. And it looks like Napoli team, they've actually slowed down. But this weekend, it's going to be a battle between Napoli and Inter Milan. So we are in for a cracker.
Napoli and Inter Milan. Napoli don't have anything to fight for. They've already won the league.
The team is already relaxed.
They are relaxed.
Osimhen
That was why
extend
Monza defeated Napoli 2-0.
Monza is not small. Monza defeated Juventus this
Yeah,
season.
they defeated Juventus.
Monza is a small
Do you know
team.
the owner of Monza?
No.
The former owner of Manchester, of AC Milan. I've forgotten his name.
It's actually a small
the
team,
former
but
Prime Minister
they've
of
done,
Italy.
Berlusconi.
Berlusconi.
They've actually done good this season, accepted, but they're actually a small team.
But they
are
are
just
small team, but they can
well
fight.
managed.
They have this fighting
Well,
spirit.
yes, it's just like this Luton we're talking
Looting
about.
and the game
I think
just
they
gained
are
promotion last season.
they are finishing this season on 9th or 10th position.
Yeah.
And that's a
They
good
are on
start.
9th or 10th position.
That's a
That's
good
a good.
start.
That's a good.
I watched their first leg against Juventus, where they defeated Juventus. I think 1-0. We saw I think they are also from the Juve side of Italy also. Because it was like a derby game between both of them, and we saw the happiness. Those are the kind of games, those are the kind of victories that actually push you and give you those needed what's it called? Needed how can I put it? They give you that needed inspiration going into the season that we can defeat Juventus, then let's just.
I think Osimhen is still leading Martinez with 3 goals.
3 goals.
Because Osimhen have 23 goals, while Martinez has 20 goals.
20 years.
Yeah, so and it's not far again, very close, because Osimhen is already relaxed, and just 3 goals he can score an hat-trick, and before you know he call.
Napoli is their next game, so I don't really see Lautaro getting the hat trick against Napoli defense.
Yeah.
No, that's not happening.
And at the Maradona, so it's going to be difficult, very difficult. But honestly, as a Nigerian, I don't have to, but you have to be patriotic sometimes. I just want Osimhen to win that ISO score.
No, I need it to win. I wish him
really
to.
wish
I wish him to.
he wins the ISO score.
And
Because the Napoli fans love that guy. They love Osimhen. If you see where they scream his name, they love. I don't think Osimhen is going to leave this.
No, he's enjoying the love there.
Really, if I'm to advise him, I'll advise him to stay at Napoli for almost season. He shouldn't just rush it, so he won't look like a one-season wonder player. That's the attack round. He shouldn't be doing that. I think the game is already getting into the heads of AC Milan players.
He deserves a card. He deserves a card. He wants to spoil their career.
Napoli Inter Milan would have been a better fixture.
Better fixture, yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, it would have been a better feature. You will have seen the fight. You will have seen the
Not for
intensity.
that injury and suspension.
All right. The match between Luton Town versus Sunderland, I think the scorer of those goals is Gabriel Osho. Then Lokia T.
Gabriel Osho.
Gabriel Osho. Is it Nigerian?
He's a Nigerian.
Yeah, it's a Nigerian. It's a Nigerian. There's another Nigerian there, Adebayo. The one that scored the first goal, the first leg.
All right, and the match is 80th minute, just 10 minutes left, and we are not, Sunderland is relaxed. They came in the first 15 minutes, they put a lot of pressure.
It's just Luton taking the game to them.
Yeah,
it's not as if they are
they are actually taking the game to Sunderland. It's not like Sunderland are relaxing. And Sunderland are also trying to be careful not to concede that third goal, which might actually take them away from more from the competition. So they are trying to play with caution. Let us push with mass attack and defend with mass defense also.
And if you look at the possession, Sunderland has 59% of the ball possession, and Luton have 41, but they are more precise when it comes to footballing. They are more precise than Sunderland. Sunderland want to play the ball around, but once the Luton guys hold the ball, the players have to hold the ball.
They've actually looked the better team in the second half. They've lost some glaring chances, about 2 or 3 in this second half that could have put an end to this game. But I think they are still in control of it.
Yeah, they're still in control.
The game might actually be ending with 2-0. But the beauty of championship is those shots can actually come out from nowhere.
Yes.
That's the beauty of championship.
From outside the 18 box. Yes. If you look at the goals, even scored. Look at Lukaku and about the ball. No, that would have been the second goal. You see, that is why I like.
Lukaku is looking like
that is what I like.
Another animal assist coming in.
He loves playing for Inter Milan.
He's looking like another animal assist coming into this game.
I like players.
I like dimension, bringing another dimension to the game from from what Dzeko actually offered in the first half. We don't really see much of Dzeko in this game, and that's another substitution from Inter Milan, Korea coming in. And well, I think this game is over.
It is over. Now, if I were Inter Milan, I would have started all the delay tactics. They've already won the game.
That's one of the delay tactics. Bringing in 2 players like
all the delay tactics. Lautaro is going out. Lautaro is going out, and just 6 minutes remaining. 6 minutes remaining. And
Barella is also out.
Yeah. Barella is also out. And it's time to relax your player for the finals. Because now, Simon Inzaghi have seen. Simon Inzaghi have studied the play now, right now. He's trying to do damage control.
He can't concede 3 goals under 6 minutes.
This in Milan, some other teams can.
No. You know what the manager is trying to do. Simon Inzaghi is trying to do damage control.
Yeah.
Because he have seen the frustration in the faces of the AC Milan, and what they're trying to do, they're trying to go with hard tackles so that they can get these people injured.
No, they are just angry.
That's what I'm saying.
When you are losing like this, you start getting frustrated.
And if you see, he's bringing out his key players so that they will not be injured. And it's a very good.
He's still fighting for his
it's just the normal thing.
Champions League position
because there's a tendency he can't win the Champions League. So and if he doesn't win, you don't qualify in your league, you're out of the Champions League next season. So he has to keep his best legs. There's a cracker this weekend against Napoli. They need all 3 points, like air that they breathe.
Wow, so Napoli.
That explains why he's keeping his best legs.
Wow.
That's Barella, one of the best attacking midfielder in Italy presently.
All right, that's a good one. We haven't seen more of Giroud. Look at the lifting, the way he lifted.
When Leao himself is being taken out of the game, he's being treated fine by the Inter Milan defenders. So I don't really see where Lukaku was going to get those service from.
Now, if Inter Milan have this kind of ability, and Simon Inzaghi have this kind of coaching, tactics, for you to cut off the threats, those attackers who are more dangerous, bring them out of the game. That means he can win the Champions League.
We saw. I think Inter Milan came in from Real Madrid group.
No. From Barcelona
group. Barcelona group and Bayern Munich. Nobody actually gave them gave them a chance of qualifying from that group. Because I think everybody money, let me say 90% of people money was on Real Madrid, Bayern and Barcelona coming out of that group. And we saw them give back. Probably due to Barcelona war form in the Champions League was what actually gave them that chance.
They are in depth. You know, it affects psychologically.
But they got some fantastic players. Actually, they got some fantastic players
Yes,
on free.
no
and they got
excuse for
some
losing.
on loan.
You see what I said? I said
And
they
some
like
instrumental
Payment.
payment. You know, when you pay 50 million for like 10
was hard.
years, that's a terrible position to be in.
Bro, let's quickly talk about those who are already, certain teams have already gone to relegation. And we have one or two, I will call it our
Paul Onuachu.
Onuachu.
just
Now,
came
what
this
now
January.
is going on relegation. What next for him?
I don't know who
That transfer was a bad transfer.
who advised him to go
Genk, a team that you're actually the top striker, a league you're winning the highest scorer from. So I don't really see that was a bad transfer for him. You should have seek advice from Joaribo, who hasn't been playing much for Southampton since joining them. So those are the kind of transfer that is just too early. Probably was in a rush to come to play in the EPL, and we've seen what happened. Probably I'll just look at it from the angle that he might actually be going back to the Belgium league. I think that league actually fits him better than the EPL.
No, the thing, when you look at it, Southampton, they bought him and they sacked, a few matches, they sacked the manager that brought him.
For certain
So when you now bring in another manager, it might not be his type of striker. So, and those things happen, not necessarily mainly because he's not good, but it can be the coaches.
No, I'm not talking about him not being good, but you look at that Southampton team. Trying to bench Armstrong up front is going to be a lot of work for any striker coming in, and not a striker coming in to the EPL for his first season in EPL. It was just unfortunate to join Southampton.
It shouldn't have gone. That transfer was a terrible decision.
Okay, now we'll talk about apart from him, the possibility of Leicester going to go on relegation too is probably is high.
I don't really see any of that Leicester.
We are seeing Ndidi is there in the Leicester. Iheanacho, Kelechi is there. What next for them?
Okay, maybe Kelechi might be going down with them or join one of these new teams coming from the second division. But looking at Wilfred Ndidi, yes, everybody knows the kind of quality player Wilfred Ndidi is on his good day, but this season, since coming back from that injury, he hasn't really been like the Wilfred Ndidi we've always seen. We've seen him being played out of position, being played as a central back mostly this season. So I think he himself will be looking likely to leave Leicester. Those are the kind of players Leicester will be trying to sell and make more money. When you're looking at Wilfred Ndidi, you're looking at James Maddison. These are players they can actually make money.
Tillmans is going to be leaving
He'll be leaving Leicester for free.
So terrible, you know.
So I don't really expect most of their starting level to actually stay beyond this season if they should really get.
That's what you get when you sell your quality
that's why it's always hard
and
coming
you don't
back.
replace them. You sell quality like Fofana. With his work rate, you remove it from your defense. You don't replace. You sell key guys, man. You sell your goalkeeper without getting. Do you know how many games they won with 1-0 because of the brilliance of Schumacher? And you lose that kind of guy, and you don't get at least a close replacement, even if you can't get an equal replacement. So they made a lot of terrible decisions, and they now started struggling with FFP, financial fair play. So I think since the death of the owner, that the son took over, they've not really made the best of the best decision.
What's it called? Brendan Rodgers.
It's not Brendan's fault, but
they
have to change. You know, to change the mood of the players.
It's not looking like a good change.
Yeah, but
the results are not coming in.
But they still have fighting chance of staying up.
Yeah, they have fighting chance of staying up.
All right, quickly, the normal time is over. Normal time over, and 3 minutes additional time has been given by the referee. And it's like we are beginning to smell the first qualifier for the final match.
As far as I'm concerned,
they're true to the Champions League final.
They are going to install.
And the playoff, we can see Luton about to start celebrating. They just have, let's see, how many additional time? 3-2 on aggregate, and probably the referee is going to add 5 minutes to this match.
Probably.
Yes, probably it's going to be 5 minutes or 4.
3 or 4. 3 to 5 minutes.
So you can see Lukaku there wasting all the time because they know they have won and they know I'm expecting a very big celebration from this. And it is Lukaku! Oh, what a save from the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper has been... Yeah, the goalkeeper has been good. Yeah, 4 minutes additional time for Litton. And that was a good chance for Lukaku.
Lukaku actually grew into this game.
Honestly,
he's looking like the old Lukaku we've always known.
Look at that. Look at that. Oh,
Lukaku has been good for Inter Milan.
Yeah.
Maybe he's the Inter Milan kind of player. Not the player you want to rely on the biggest stage. What did he do for Belgium in the World Cup? He lost most of their critical chances. That last game of the group, he lost some chances so terrible. He was now kicking the coaching station. Is it that one that made him lose chances? It's not fun.
I think Luton should be just they should be careful in this dying minute.
A goal now will lead extra time.
They are now playing 9 men behind the ball.
And you can even see the goalkeeper want to be part of the players. Oh, the goalkeeper now is playing as a midfielder. He tries to tell you the pressure on them.
Of course.
They are trying to put more pressure on the attacking side of on the defensive side of what's it called, Luton. But let's see. I just pray they don't just concede a goal through counter attack now.
And you know that in Premier League, even the last team that is going on relegation will be receiving nothing less than 100 million pounds. So when you win the playoff and you promote to that kind of league, you're already winning. You already have 178 million, and you are still getting your royalties as per Premier League. They want to die.
Wow.
And the referee has blown the final whistle, and we have seen the first finalists that will be playing in the Istanbul, and it is Inter Milan. You can see Simone Inzaghi. It's the man of the moment. You can see all the players of Inter Milan. No wonder they will celebrate because it's a team to celebrate. And you can see Giroud regretting, and you can he's feeling so bad.
Well, they didn't really turn up for this game at all. They didn't come into the game. Although it actually tells much about AC Milan's season. This season they'll be having. They won't be going to the Champions League next season. We're trying to see how much they can keep on Rafael.
But they still have a fighting chance, actually.
Oh, fighting chance.
5 points off.
5 points off.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. They are still
and
5
they still have
points
3
off,
matches.
Okay, but the last 2 games they lost actually really it affects them.
In fact, they are playing so in a very annoying way. They are losing results.
Good luck for Inter Milan, wherever they face in the Champions League. Let's see if they can actually.
The match between. Look at the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper just left his post.
This is the counter.
Hey, Luton has it, and then just kill the game. Kill the game. That was 1-1.
He lost it. How can he not pass the ball? Oh, offside.
Was it off? No, it can't be.
That's not off. From your own field.
It's not off.
It's not off.
Not for him to pass the ball.
No, it's not offside now. It's not off.
It's not offside.
It's not off.
That is the most stupid.
The keeper is not.
He can't even give it to the player behind him.
He should have given. That's what I'm saying. He should have given it to that player. But
there was no goalkeeper on the post.
None of them was off.
They were all in their own field. They were all in their own outfield.
Really pay for it. Should they consider a goal?
No.
That guy really.
He will cry overnight.
They will flog him now. It's in their. The fans. The
fans will want to have his head.
Oh, look at Giroud. You feel like crying. Just being a man. You don't want to cry. It's over. The Champions League dream for AC Milan is over.
It's over.
And no wonder you can see Dzeko.
Coming into this season, AC Milan too never really expected themselves to be in the semi-finals. We saw them from the Champions League, because I saw them in Chelsea group, AC Milan, Chelsea, RB, Salzburg.
And it is Sunderland. If Sunderland score this goal, that man that missed that match, they
that should be the end.
The game is done already. They should be the last kick of the game.
They should be the last kick of the game. Any moment from now, the referee is going to blow the whistle, the final whistle, and there's a fight there. You know, sometimes some of these players, I wonder, you know that you are. You need. Why will you be fighting when they
when you are playing? When you are tensed, the percentage of you getting angry is higher because you are tensed. So that's just it. And you know they can be emotional right now, looking at it that if we don't score now, they are out of the playoff. So it really increases their tendency of getting.
Yes, what I'm trying to say in essence, you know very well they are already leading you, and you don't have that time with you. Why will you go and be fighting? Already you are.
It's
Why will
not
you go?
about knowing.
Why
You are saying that you know because you are sitting and watching the match.
Yeah.
It's not about knowing. It's about the intensity of the game. So when you are running, for instance, I'm running, I'm with the ball. Am I thinking about, oh, if I caught this? No, I just want to take him on. Because you are just thinking in a split of the second, and it's the final result.
And the referee has blown the final whistle. And congratulations to Luton Town. Luton Town, you know, these are the kind of things we talk about. Your second leg, and you come back fully and still win it. I mean, I expected
actually the better side.
Yeah, I expected AC Milan to come up with a fight today, because they were beating 2-0 in their own home. I expected them to come with a fight today, and I'm not seeing that bite. I'm not seeing that fight.
You really have to appreciate the work of Simeone Inzaghi. How well he arranged his midfield, how well he contained the AC Milan team. We couldn't see any threat from from Rafael Leao in this game. Diaz was just absent in this game, like he wasn't in the field.
Fans have broken into this.
Oh, you can see the celebration. You can see the celebration.
Going to Wembley is actually a big one for them.
You know, I forgot to talk about Barcelona won the league. They've won the league.
Yes.
And the moment of celebrating, they were celebrating at the Espanyol thing.
The
And as there was the fan came out, you know, and they all ran away. But those kind of things should be stopped.
No, Barcelona they should know that Espanyol was the wrongest place to celebrate a victory. It's a derby, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I'm coming. Yeah. You have won the league, man.
It's a local derby.
Yeah, it's a local.
So Espanyol is the wrongest place for them to celebrate winning.
But you have won. They should be protected. There should be security.
Yeah,
you know,
and
they overpower the security.
How many?
They've always had their issue. Do
you know the capacity of the stadium? And how many policemen? How many?
They do have their issue.
It's just always like that. It's a bitter.
You know, and you know, like I said, there was a day I was saying the Espanyol fans, and they said they don't want to see any Barcelona jersey inside. Anybody that was wearing jersey.
If you watch that,
we are coming.
All over that.
There was no Barcelona jersey. No, because Barcelona did it to them first.
Yes, no.
Barcelona did it to them first, and the revenge.
So don't let us blame Espanyol for everything.
But they would have allowed them to celebrate their victory. Well, that's how far we can go for today. But quickly, Mr. Dem, just in 30 seconds, just summarize both this Champions League and the Championship.
Good game.
Okay. Go first. Inter Milan deserved winners. The game was won already in the first leg, so not much to talk about. Good game plan. What AC Milan just suffered from is just lack of strength in depth. Their squad is too average, and the Inter had a far better squad. Then congratulations to Luton Town. Wembley they come. Let's hope that at least, I think we can be seeing them in the Premier League.
Hopefully, yeah.
They still have one more order to actually scale through, and that might actually be Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough, they had a fantastic season. Like we said, they've not lost a game. Although it's like two of them are actually coming unbeaten. Oh, they lost their own last game. So Middlesbrough might just be a very big order for them to scale through. Yes, I want to see a modest team like them in the EPL. I want them to come to the EPL and feel among, not just playing against the big boys when it's Carabao or FA Cup. Let them also feel what it takes to play in the EPL. So that is a game we'll actually be looking towards for Saturday or Sunday. And to the Champions League, like you rightly said, the game was won in the first leg, and Inter Milan actually controlled the second leg. They controlled the pace of the game in the second leg, and they got it done. I was even looking at it looking forward to a draw. But they got a goal, so which made them win the game both home and away. Good one for them. Good moral booster for them going to the final. And tomorrow, Madrid against Manchester City. We'll see who joins them in the final.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Shegelo. That is the name I will be calling you. And Adeyemidi. I will not say. Okay. All right. That is how far we can go for today's, you see, a very beautiful match to the Champions League, and Don't forget to join us tomorrow. The big one, the final before the final. The match between Manchester City versus Real Madrid at the Etihad is going to be a cracker. In fact, as it stands, a lot of people think they can predict that match, but I tell you, no. It's not everybody that can predict that match because it's going to be a fierce match. It's going to be intense. It's going to be the final before final. Don't forget to join us tomorrow. This is Premier Sport Fan Center, and remember, please subscribe. Subscribe so that you can always get notification from us whenever we come. For now, it is goodbye from us, and see you tomorrow. Thank you very much. The teams with the biggest fan zone in the world, Chelsea versus Manchester United. They're about to start their match. And it has been a lot of talking between the fans, Manchester fans and Chelsea fans. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center.